In a world of seemingly endless podcasts comes what many would call another one. Welcome to the Two Men podcast with your hosts Tim Matson and Phil Powell. Now please join these two confirmed men, that's two moderately entertaining nerds, as they take you on another podcast adventure that's guaranteed to be funny. Or not. This week the two men discuss how to relax.
Welcome to another episode of the Two Men podcast with me, Tim.
And me, Phil.
It's good to be here with you today.
Yes, as compared to yesterday.
Yesterday, we weren't with you. Not as good.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
How did you cope? Unless you listened to another one of our podcasts, in which case you coped.
They might have been with us yesterday. We just didn't know it.
Yes.
So this is episode 20.
20.
This is a big milestone.
What is episode 20? Is that like
It's talcum powder.
Talcum
That's
powder?
our talcum powder anniversary.
Oh. Does somebody have to change one of our diapers?
I don't know. It's the first thing I could think of.
Isn't that what you do with talcum powder?
I guess. It's for chafing, so sure, yeah.
I don't know. We always used to have it. Talcum powder. Didn't you?
Yeah.
I guess our families were
Worried about chafing a lot. I don't know.
Yeah,
so what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about how to relax, how to spend your downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do to chillax?
Chillax?
Isn't that still we used to use chillax.
Chillax.
I
don't know about you, but I never used chillax. Whenever I like to relax, I also have the cats around. We have 3 cats.
Right.
2 of which are allowed around the house. 1 is in exile.
Right.
But that's nice to have the cats around because there's nothing more relaxed than a cat.
Have you exiled your cat to someplace like France or?
No. The cat, she has her own little old lady cat apartment upstairs.
Oh, okay. So
she has an entire room to herself.
It's local exile.
It's local exile, yes, because she won't stop peeing on the couch.
I see. She's not like a cat without a nation or anything like that.
No, well, she is persona non grata whenever I'm around because not only did she pee on the couch a couple times. One time I was napping on the couch.
While this occurred?
While this occurred, yes, because all of a sudden I felt very warm. The cat peed on me on the couch.
All right. Have you never stopped to ask maybe that this is not the cat's fault? That you are the issue or your couch
How is it my issue? I was napping, minding my own business on the couch. She hopped up on me and decided to pee on me and the couch.
Well, you obviously provoked her in some way.
Other than napping on the couch, I don't know how.
Well, your musk.
My musk.
It could be powerful.
What are you implying? I'm not a very musky person, I don't think.
I don't know. What is musk?
Testosterone? I don't know.
Does animals, don't you, there's so many things we don't know.
We know so little.
But musk,
really.
I think that's the smell you give off. That's the fun.
Yeah, I mean,
cats are very sensitive to
Isn't there
smells.
Cologne that's called musk?
Yeah, used to be the guaranteed score. I think if you wore musk.
I bet it is, yeah.
I found that to be
Is that true?
No.
No?
I found that to be false advertising.
So if you have musk, you're not guaranteed to get lucky.
No. No.
What about English leather? I heard that they like English leather or nothing at all. Isn't that what the commercial used to say?
Yeah, it was like, I prefer, and the women said it, wasn't it? It's like,
yeah.
I want my man to wear English leather
or nothing at all.
Yeah, that's
very sexy.
Do you wear cologne to relax?
No, not to relax, no.
You don't?
No, no.
Do you wear cologne at all anymore?
I do when I'm going out, yeah.
By going out, we mean
leaving the house?
No, I think that's deodorant. I think you're thinking of.
Yeah, I do wear that, sure.
But you wear cologne for me?
For you? No.
Well, then who are you wearing it for?
Well, anybody but you, pretty much.
Okay. I'm just confused.
I didn't bother to put some on coming here. I did shower, though.
Okay, so
because before I was a little sweaty, so I showered off for you. But.
Do you have a preference when it comes to deodorants?
I do, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me. Let's
I
debate this.
I wear Mitchum.
Mitchum, man,
Mitchum.
that's like the cousin to Old
It
Spice.
kind of is. Named for tough guy Robert Mitchum.
All right, so roll-on spray.
No, not the roll-on stuff. What about you?
I like spray.
Really?
I'm sorry about the ozone. I like that stuff, and I got in trouble for wearing Axe deodorant spray.
Oh, yeah. Did you get mobbed by teenage girls?
Well, somebody accused me of trying to smell young.
How do you smell young?
And I was
this
like,
while you were wearing skinny jeans and
No, but it's just like
on a hoverboard?
Somebody noticed, I guess, because they smell other Axe people. And I just thought it smelled nice. I just was like, I do not have an agenda with my deodorant. With my deodorant, other than to not be offensive.
That seems like a good agenda to have.
I'm not trying to make a statement publicly.
Well, could you identify something by its scent? I couldn't. I couldn't tell if you were wearing Axe or not.
No,
I couldn't either. I wouldn't notice.
Tell. No way. I couldn't tell if you were wearing a different deodorant. I couldn't tell if your sweat was different that day. I couldn't tell that either.
How would my sweat be different that day?
Well, it could be stronger or less strong.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying you could be smelly for different reasons. Like your underwear could be chafing because you didn't have talcum powder, and so you got funk down below. So that's its own smell. All right, then
funk down below. That's a famous James Brown record.
Oh, it is. The way he danced and then pretended to faint. That's classic.
Yeah.
The funk down below.
The funk down below.
None of us seem to be relaxing at all yet. Sleep. Does sleep relax you?
Well, isn't that the ultimate in relaxation? I mean, if you're really relaxed, you're going to go unconscious, and that's sleeping. So,
but don't you fear? I've heard people say, "Oh, I slept all night, but I had bad dreams, so they don't. It doesn't count."
What, the sleep doesn't count
as relaxation?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I've never been convinced because you're still asleep. I'm sorry if you're thinking bad, but that's on you.
Yeah, I don't think you wake up any less restful just because you had a nightmare. Because it's not like the nightmare lasted all night. It was like a few minutes.
Well, even so, even if it was an all-night nightmare, let's say your body wanted to do a marathon. It binge.
It's the greatest hits of all your fears.
That's right.
Played back to back.
All right, let's just keep going with this one. All right, he's not.
It's got good ratings.
That's right. Yeah. How do you distinguish between being relaxed and lazy?
Oh, that's a fine line. That's part of my ongoing research, actually. I'm studying that line between relaxation and laziness. I'm trying to really hone in on where that line falls.
That's right. And do you find that you're tipping into lazy?
I tip a lot.
You tip a lot.
There's a lot of tipping going on.
There should be some sort of nap to creative epiphany ratio. So, like, if you nap for...
I better start being creative because my ratio is way off.
So you should be a creative genius.
I really should be, as much napping as I get done.
So do you find if you're observed, are you lazier or less observed?
No.
What happens?
Yeah, I'm like Schrodinger's lazy cat. You know, if I'm observed, then I have to be active. You know, if I'm not observed, I may be active or I might not be. You won't know until you look.
So it sounds to me like what we need to do is we need to install a webcam in your theater.
That's not a bad idea. If you put a webcam up, I might actually be productive because if I can be checked up on, I'm probably going to be working on something.
I could log in. You could just make me your accountability. It's like
that's a good idea.
You're
actually.
Sober, creative buddy.
It is a bit like Alcoholics Anonymous. I do need a sponsor.
That's right.
Because my laziness has gotten out of hand.
Hey, Tim, I couldn't help but notice that 3 weeks have gone by, and most of the time you're just kind of lying there on the couch. Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about
not lying on the couch. That's
I'm thinking about it. I've been tossing around some ideas in my head. You saw me at the computer. No, I would need 2 webcams. I would need a screen capture so I could determine how much work you're actually doing and how much you're watching the television.
So you need a webcam in the study and in the theater.
Right.
That way you can
is
know.
the study where you work?
It is, yeah. If I'm actually legitimately doing work, then yeah, I'm in the study.
Okay, and
if I am faking it doing work, I'm in the theater at the counter.
Okay. See, this is all good information.
It really is, yeah.
This is how I relax. I sit in front of the computer and I wear
asleep.
All right. And I wear certain clothes. All right.
You have a relaxation uniform?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
All right.
It's not particularly prestigious. It's sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Now, and here's the reason I say this is I still wear it even when it's hot because there's
You're a crazy person.
Well,
you can't be hot and be relaxed.
I
anyway.
crank up the air.
Okay, that's acceptable.
I crank up the air. Here's the thing: the sameness of it, because of my fear of change, it causes me to relax, and I don't want to do anything too rambunctious on the internet. It has to be for my pleasure, whatever. Now, don't go anywhere. But it has to be something that's not work related. I cheat sometimes if it's a software tutorial that I really find interesting. Isn't that sad? I used to read to relax, like fiction.
Yeah, I did and still do sometimes. Not as much as I used to. Holy cow, I used to read so much and I read so little now.
You don't even read comic books and they're pictures.
It's really terrible. I don't that much.
So if you were going to be a superhero, what do you think your name would be?
Probably Lazy Man.
Lazy Man, right?
Man, yeah.
How would he defeat evil with this power?
He would probably nap on it, and get back to you later with a great idea of how to thwart the evil person.
Your sleeping is so overpowering.
It really is.
Well, I
could sleep through anything. So that's my superpower. The enemy would attack and I would immediately go to sleep. That way I could not be harmed.
You would be impenetrable.
Yeah, my napping zone would be impenetrable.
That's right. Unless you are a cat, in which case you could be peed upon.
A damn cat.
See, I'm taking your cat's side. I think that's...
Why would you take... that's so rude.
I mean, now personally, Tim, if you took a nap...
I'm not going to nap around you. I feel very violated, like you might pee on me while I'm asleep.
I wouldn't have previous to this conversation,
now,
but
however,
I might now. Yeah, so that's going to keep you... But here, I'm your creative,
that'll definitely keep me awake.
It's like, Tim... I've noticed that you're...
Don't make me pee on you.
Don't make me pee.
Get to work.
That will hold you accountable.
It would definitely hold me accountable.
If our threat was to pee on each other, if we didn't...
I want that first draft done by 3 or I'm going to drive to your house and pee on you.
And you're gonna let me. If that's
you have no choice.
Hold still.
I'm gonna wait till you fall asleep, and you have to at some time.
That's right.
Nobody can stay awake forever.
And don't think I'm gonna limit it just to your legs or anything. It's gonna go all over.
This is the worst.
All right, so I think we've come up with a new program. The P Accountability Program.
Yeah.
If you're not creative to a certain degree,
someone pees on you.
So Tim and I've made a pact.
Have we really?
Yeah, I think it's a pact. I'll send you a Google Doc later.
Send me a Google Doc, yeah.
That you could sign with your PDF signature.
It's a terrible idea.
And if we don't output
then you get the output.
Then you get the output. That's right. So relaxing.
Yeah, that was very relaxing.
I relax in certain clothes, as I said. It's the same way.
So if those clothes are dirty, can you not relax? Are you not allowed to relax until you wash them?
There's an alternate set of clothes.
Okay, that's what I thought. There's a backup. So what's the backup?
It's more sweatpants. It's another sweatshirt. However, this is a little embarrassing.
That hasn't stopped us yet.
That's true. Sometimes during my relaxation period is also when I eat, which is something you rarely see me do.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. And I
assume you osmose stuff from the air.
I know. That would be
great. You have like
great.
photosynthesis or something because I never see you eat.
I know, other than Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew.
That is true.
I sometimes in my eagerness to eat will sometimes spill mustard on my clothes, which is not sightly. And even I do not like, even if I'm with myself, I do not like to be embarrassed by my own observations. Which is, when you're of a certain age, that's hard. Lord knows. You know what? At a certain age, you got to keep your eyes up in the shower. It's like I'm just
shower without looking down.
It's like I'm just gonna clean. We're just gonna look up.
I'm not gonna inspect. I'm just gonna assume I got everything.
That's right. I think that's how you develop any kind of growths. You're just not looking. It's like well, doctor, didn't you see this? No.
Oh, my God.
So you never look to check.
See, I would assume that would help. If you're not looking, you're going to have to feel a lot more with your hands to figure out where you're at, and that would lead you to find growths.
I don't feel, other than a very specific region, I'm not randomly feeling my body.
You're not really checking?
Well, I mean, when's the last time you just rubbed your,
Wait, hang on. Rubbed what?
Well, I don't know. Anything that you, like the back of your calf. When's the last time you, or inspected it with your hands?
I mean, haven't inspected it. I am now having I'm having this desire to check now, though. I'm going to go ahead and check. No, everything seems fine.
So when you get inspected for skin cancer, do you get inspected?
No, I haven't had a check for skin cancer.
All right. I'm judging you silently.
Go ahead.
Or out loud. But when my doctor does it, and I won't name this person. It's not my general. It's my dermatologist. They're a little brisk, and I don't care for it. Meaning,
Do they go over certain sections quicker than others? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I think they just eyeball it fast.
Okay.
Which to me
it seems like a good thing to do.
No, I don't like that. I mean, it's like, if I bother, I can ignore stuff on my own. I don't need you to ignore it.
I don't need to pay you to ignore it. I'm doing that already.
That's right. I'm proactively ignoring my body.
Sure.
All right. So, but at the same time, when they're looking for skin cancer, I want this individual to scrutinize.
And that's the last thing they really want to do, I'm sure.
But what they're doing is and you just look fine to me, and moving on. And I'm like, hey now.
I think you need to take a second look.
That's right. What about this mole? First off, is that a mole?
Well, see, if you're pointing it out, you've already checked it out. You know it's there.
But I'm not an expert in myself.
Well, maybe not, but you've certainly looked at it and checked it.
Yes.
If you're pointing it out to a doctor, you have already done the once-over.
But I want them to. I'm paranoid all the time when I do inadvertently look at myself. I'm like, wow, is that something to be concerned about?
Is that normal?
That's right. So I don't want to foreshadow to the doctor anything suspicious. I want them
so you don't want to prejudice their opinions.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
All right.
I want them
So you could create skin cancer out of something that was nothing to begin with.
Well, if I went into I tell you what, if I went to the doctor's office and I said, I've got 7 skin cancers on me.
Your job is to find them. If you find all 7, you win a prize.
That's right. No, warmer. Oh, you're on fire. No.
That seems like a great way to solve the healthcare crisis. You just go into your doctor and say, I have a disease. If you guess it correctly, you get paid.
That's right. Oh, close. No. Well, here's the thing about...
That's right. It's gonorrhea. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm sorry for the close inspection. So how does gonorrhea manifest itself?
I have no idea, thankfully.
Syphilis?
Those are 2 different diseases.
I understand.
Okay, just
I'm
making
asking
sure.
the question, how do they present?
Because I think one is a little bit worse than the other.
I think gonorrhea is worse than syphilis.
No, I think syphilis is worse because you can go blind from syphilis.
I think you can die from gonorrhea.
You can die from syphilis.
Well, we're pretty confident about that.
I feel very confident about that.
So we don't want either one.
No. I mean, neither is really preferable to the other. They're both terrible. Can you die from gonorrhea?
I think you can.
I don't know that
I think it's like a brain...
Is it?
So, see, now this is the thing where, in the absence of this podcast, if I were to just look at Tim's internet search history...
I've now added gonorrhea to my search history.
I'd be like, man, boy, Tim, I had no idea. He said he didn't date much, but apparently... So while we're filling the time, while you're looking up gonorrhea, I would think, isn't there symptoms for gonorrhea?
Okay. If you don't get treated with gonorrhea,
Yeah.
it can cause serious and permanent health problems. It can form scar tissue. It can cause problems with pregnancy, infertility, and long-term pelvic/abdominal pain. So, you may not die, but you might wish you it did, if it was bad enough.
I don't even know what it
can cause a painful condition in the tubes attached to the testicles.
Ooh.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
You know what? Whoever has gonorrhea, it's difficult to relax.
I would imagine it would be difficult to relax.
Their relaxation routine would be totally different than ours.
Somewhat different than everybody else's, yeah. Yeah, so definitely syphilis is worse.
Okay, so read me with syphilis.
What?
Read me syphilis.
Read you syphilis? Oh, my God.
You know what? That's my favorite bedtime story.
Read me the story of syphilis, will you please?
Children all across the world, they love the tales of syphilis. Oh, and the sequel, gonorrhea. I think there's a trilogy. So that would be syphilis, gonorrhea, and herpes, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I'm not reading you the story of syphilis. This is pretty awful. This is not a bedtime story you want to hear.
The story of syphilis.
We'll spare our listeners from the tale of syphilis. They'll have to go and internet that for themselves.
Was it named after a guy?
Steve Syphilis, yeah.
Steve Syphilis.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was named after Steve Syphilis.
He was the rowdy one in high school.
He was very rowdy. He was the black sheep of his family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Had a good time, though, I think, during the...
Probably did have a good time up to a certain point. After that point, not so good.
Not so much, yes. All right. Relaxed. We done.
I'm done, relaxed.
So everybody, go home, chill, and...
You could also listen to this podcast and relax.
I do. I know it puts me to sleep.
It puts me to sleep every single time.
And it's time for everybody's favorite game, Instant Opinion.
Yay!
Yay, where I give Tim a word and he has 10 seconds to render an instant opinion. Are you ready, Tim?
I'm ready, Phil.
Parlors.
Traditionally where English murders happen. So I am pro parlors because I like a good English mystery. I'm anti-parlors because it sounds very formal, and I like a much more laid-back and relaxed household.
Yeah. French maids. I am pro French maids. I love the little outfit. It's pretty sexy.
I am against French maids in that seems very exclusive. I think all cultures should be able to have maids.
Right.
Not just French. So, yeah.
I mean, you'd go for a Spanish maid.
I'd go for a Spanish maid.
Or an English maid.
Or an English maid.
Any kind of maid,
I like
really.
maids.
You like maids. And the idea that they'll clean for you.
I like anybody that'll clean for me.
That's right.
Pro that.
But are you pro old maid?
Old maid, I like the card game.
Okay, but not the person.
Well, it depends on the old maid. I suppose I loved my great-great-aunt Esther. She was a lovely old maid.
But it sounds like you're an old maid bigot. All right.
I think you're putting words in my mouth.
Heart throbs.
Heartthrob. I like heartthrobs in meaning that my heart is still beating. And I'm against heartthrobs like the Tiger Beat magazine from when we were little kids. You know, remember that? Scott Baio on the cover, Leif Garrett. I'm against that because it's objectifying.
Yes, that's why you're against it.
That's exactly
not
why.
Because you're
not
not.
Because I'm not worthy of objectification.
You would have totally unbuttoned
I should
your
have been
shirt.
on Tiger Beat.
Yeah, that's right. You would have loved it. You would.
Did you ever read Tiger Beat?
In passing.
Sure.
I don't know what you're talking about. Really. Raging Rapids.
Raging Rapids. Seems to be the only kind of rapids that rage. I don't know any like relaxed rapids.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm pro them because that sounds like fun to like ford these raging rapids with an inner tube. I'm against raging rapids in that, again, that seems not very inclusive. Only you can only rage.
There's only one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the alliteration thing.
Yeah.
All right. Lee Strickland.
Lee Strickland. I love Lee Strickland. She is a lovely, lovely actress, very talented. And I'm against Lee Strickland because I don't think I ever got cast where we got to work together closely. So I'm against that.
Work together, you mean make out?
We weren't cast ever where we got to make out, which is very, very sad to me.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
That's more what I was looking for.
Yeah, I have been cast in that circumstance. I'm sorry, Tim.
You suck.
I know. Yay, Lee, though. We're both in agreement. Yay,
I'm
Lee.
Pro Lee.
Pro Lee.
Except the fact that she moved away. I'm anti-Lee.
I'm
anti-Lee.
Boo.
On that case.
Boo-Lee.
Boo-Lee.
Nail polish remover.
Nail polish remover. I'm pro nail polish remover because if you sniff it, you get really kind of high, and that's a great. No, that's a poor thing. I'm anti that. Don't do that. That's a poor idea.
Don't try that.
Don't try that. I am pro nail polish remover because it removes nail polish.
All right. Sounds like you know a lot about this.
I was trying to be funny and realized that was a bad idea.
That's all I have.
That sounds good enough to me.
Yes. So we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Greetings. I am Alice, highly paid digital assistant to the two moderately entertaining nerds of the Two Men podcast. Want to let us know what you thought of the show? Have a topic you'd like to hear discussed? Feel like demanding your money back? We'd love to hear from you on 2 out of those 3 questions. Drop us an email at twomencast@gmail.com. In the meantime, please rate us and leave a review on iTunes or your podcast service of choice. Also, for all discussions moderately entertaining, you can find us at facebook.com/2mencast. Please join us again next week when we'll be guaranteed to be funny. Or not.